Chapter 32 Darkness Falls. It starts out on a dark, rainy, and stormy night at the Loud House. Me, Lincoln, and Lily are playing video games, and Marie, Jesse, and Laney are reading books. Boy, it sure is coming down out there, I say. Thunder rumbles. Yeah, it is, says Lincoln. The rain just keeps on pouring, says Lily. A scream was heard, and it came from Lucy's room. That sounds like Lucy, says Laney. She sounds like she's in trouble, says Marie. Let's go, I say. We rush up to Lucy's crypt and we see a strange sight. Lucy had her eyes showing, and they were red like blood. Her hair was deep orange and her skin was scaly. Won't you join me? asks Lucy in a demonic voice. That's not Lucy talking, I say. Her head turned around all the way and it snapped off and we screamed. Snapped off? Like completely off? Oh, can one of you guys give me a hand? Asks Lucy. I was expecting a pun there. So, like, snapped off. Whatever. At midnight, me, Marie, Jesse, Mr. Lynn, Miss Rita, Lincoln, and his sisters, minus Lucy, I could have figured that out. I mean, technically, never mind, are in Laurie's room for a meeting. Guys, something is seriously wrong with Lucy. That is not her, says Laurie. I know, I've seen this before. Have you? We have a case of demonic possession on our hands. I'm glad everyone's taking this so well. I say, low moaning comes from Lucy's crypt room. Demonic possession? Asks Rita. Why are they having this meeting in Laurie's room? If, like, the parents are part of it, I really would have expected, like, the living room or something. Whatever. Demonic possession? Asks Rita. Yes, have you guys seen the movie The Exorcist? Asks Veri. I have, and that was a scary one, says Rita. We need to exorcise the demon out of Lucy, I say. How do we do that, dude? Asks Luna. I know an of course you do. I know an exorcism incantation. Marie, Lincoln, Laney, you three, come with me. The rest of you stand ready. Should the demon try to attack us? I say. Right. What a leader. He's such a leader. Right, says Laurie. I hope you know what to do, says Jesse. Right, Jesse. The interdimensional traveler from whatever series I've already forgotten. Don't worry, Jesse. Lucy will be fine, I say. Me, Marie, Lincoln, and Laney go into Lucy's room and we approach her. Lincoln, closer. Lincoln comes closer. Closer. Lincoln comes closer. I need a new word for my latest poem, says the demon, not Lucy. The demon pulls back the covers and reveals Lucy's poetry book in its lap, and Lincoln screams like Kurt's a cowardly dog. Ah, what have you done with my sister Lucy? What was so scary about that? I guess I didn't say it right. For my new, latest poem. It's whatever. What have you done with my sister Lucy? Asks Lincoln. She's in here with us, says the demon. Lucy temporarily regains control. Guys, help me! Screams Lucy. The demon takes over again. Whoops, ha ha ha, that one slipped out. Says the demon. Let her go, demon, says Laney. Never, she's mine, says the demon. Maybe I'll just say says demon. It's easier. You won't get away with this, demon, I say. Oh yeah? What are you gonna do about it? It's a very cocky demon. Asks the demon. Demon asks demon. This, I say. I throw... Okay, no setup. He just has it, I guess. He's not like, oh yeah, guys, I need you to go get me some holy water. No, he just has it. I throw holy water onto her, and it burned the demon. Then a black lightning bolt hit Lucy, and the demon was... What do you mean? What? And the demon was expelled from her body. From her, and Lucy was in a tornado of pure darkness. Oh, fucking course. Another elemental choosing. Well, I guess all it took was Lucy getting possessed. Yeah, I concur. The demon revealed itself, and it was really Pazuzu from The Exorcist, in the form of Reagan McNeil, who was possessed by him long ago. Pazuzu! I scream. That's right, I'm back, and here to get my revenge, says Pazuzu. We won't let you, I say. I then fire a stream of blue fire at him, and it burned him so bad as I hold a cross up to him. Demon being burned by fire seems a little whatever. The power of Christ, the power of Christ compels you. Oh God, I'm gonna have to read Latin. Fuck. Okay, the power of Christ compels you. I, I, say. I couldn't think of anything. Pazuzu was burning in blue flames as Lucy got up and she saw the fight. So that was the freak that was possessing me. I feel weird. Gasp. Have I been given powers too? Asks Lucy. Lucy then held out her hand and a bolt of black lightning fired from her hand and it hit Pazuzu and it hurt him really badly. I guess, out of everyone to be beaten up by the Louds, by the soon-to-be Team Loud Phoenix Storm, Pazuzu is so far the one who's deserved it the most. Lucy, you have dark powers! Exclaims Lenny. I do, says Lucy. Lucy then felt a pain on her back and a pair of fucking course, and a pair of black angel wings sprouted out. Lucy saw them and she knew she can fly, and she can now fly. She flew at Pazuzu. Oh, just like that. She flew at Pazuzu and punched him and fired more dark lightning, and it destroyed his head. Destroyed his head? His head has just been beaten and battered, or it's like completely been destroyed, like a watermelon exploding. Whatever. Here we go, I say. Oh, God. Exorcisamus te omnis immunde spiritus, omnis satanica potestas, omnis incursio. Sounds like Harry Potter. Some wizard incant, a curse. Infernalis adversari, omnis legio, or legio, omnis congret, oh my god, congregatio et secta diabolica. I think I got that one. In nomine et verut domini Nasti Jesu Christi, eradicare et effugare ad ecclesia. I'm fucking butchering this. Ab animabis, animabis, ad imaginum de conditis ac pretioso divini agni sanguini redemptus. Amen. Okay, I got amen. I know amen. In an instant, Pazuzu turned into a ball of red light and exploded and went back to the netherworld forever, and the storm was gone too. Lucy walked up to us. Thank you guys for saving me, says Lucy. It was our pleasure. You got dark powers. I state the obvious. I know, it feels great. Apparently it hurt when you sprouted your wings. It was our I look it up in my legends book and discovered something interesting. You've been blessed by the black lightning of Nott, the goddess of the night in Norse myth. She bestows her powers of darkness to anyone worthy, but they can only be given to someone who is possessed by a demonic force. That's strange. How can they be worthy and also possessed by a demon? Like, if anything, it's because, like, a guy who's worthy just gets possessed by a demon and bestowed dark powers. Now the demon possessing him has those dark powers because he just so happened to possess the person who's worthy. Unless, of course, she only got them when the demon was expelled, but whatever. Look, man, just proofread your Legends book next time. I won't have to nitpick. That's unusual, and I was possessed by that demon. Yes, you were, Lucy. That was Pazuzu, the demon from the movie The Exorcist, which I guess means that Pazuzu uh, exists in the same way that Woody Woodpecker does. Yeah, The Exorcist was not a movie, it was a documentary. That's weird, but this is a blessing for me, says Lucy. You look like a true angel of darkness with those wings, like JD, who's so cool. JD's so cool, says Viri. Thanks, Viri, says Lucy. We then explained what went down, and everyone was shocked, and then went to sleep at 3:30 a.m. Okay. The end. Another fanfiction done. I wanted to have Lucy get the powers of darkness after being possessed by Pazuzu. See you next time. Code's a Cowardly Dog, Elements, owned by Elements. You did one thing. You made Lincoln scream like him, which, by the way, I think that was the only thing Lincoln did. By John Dilworth and Cartoon Network. The Exorcist is owned by Warner Bros. And William Friedkin and Hoya Productions. That was great. Chapter 33. One Flew Over the Loud House. It starts with me, Viri, and Eddie walking over to the Loud House. We knock on the door and no one was answering. That's weird, I say. We go in uninvited to someone else's house. Can this be breaking in? I guess I didn't break anything. We go in and we see that everything is quiet. Well, you don't see that everything is quiet, you hear. Anyways, hello? Anyone there? Anyone here? I ask. Where is everyone? Asks Furry. I don't know. It's usually never this quiet, I respond. That's weird. The van's still here. Maybe they're sleeping in today? Says Eddie. Maybe, maybe not, I say. We walk upstairs to Lincoln's room and knock on his door. Come in, says Lincoln. We open his door. Hey, Lincoln, how's it going? I ask. Hey, guys, says Lincoln, not answering the question. It sure is quiet around here, says Furry. Oh, great. Now I have to. Okay. I actually did see an actual real yawn because that's how much effort. Why is this in quotes? Hold on. Oh, the sweet sound of silence that never happens on a Saturday. It must be the first one up. Why is this one the only one in quotes? Oh, I guess whenever there's these brackets, they decide to put quotes in case we get confused. Thank you, James Knutson. Okay, anyways, yawns. Oh, the sweet sound of silence. That never happens on a Saturday. I must be the first one up. Lincoln notices the time. Wait a minute, 10 a.m.? How could it be this quiet this late? 10 a.m. isn't late. It's like still technically morning, isn't it? Asks Lincoln. I don't know, Lincoln. It was quiet when we came in here, says Eddie. That's weird, says Lincoln. He opens the door, and as he puts his clothes on, and we come. So, like, you watched him change? Or worse, he sleeps in his underwear, and you. Whatever. And we come out. We then notice the upstairs hallway is all wrecked. Whoa, the hallway wasn't like this when we came in, I say. Hello? Calls out Lincoln. Suddenly, a strange noise is heard coming from Lola and Lana's room. Hey, guys! Lola. Lola come out of her room, and she looked sick, and looked like a zombie. What's wrong with you, Lola? I ask. Okay. Laughs Lincoln, walking back to Lenny. Oof, Lenny, I think something's wrong with Lol. Lenny looked. Excuse me. Lenny looks sick, and there were flies around her. Vivi and Lincoln scream. There's a sick Lynn as well. He tries to back away and tries to open Lisa bedroom door. Lisa opens the door, and she pulls me, Viri, Eddie, and Lincoln inside as we scream. With Lori, Luna, Luann, Ronnie Ann, Lucy, Lainey, Lana, Lisa, Lily, and Jesse holding us. What the? Says Lincoln, in case you forgot. Head toward the light? I say, droning. Are they okay? Asks Lainey. They look okay, but we better check them, says Luna. 98.6 degrees. They're good. Let them go, says Lori, checking us with a temperature scanner. Hey, girls, I say. Hey, girls. Hey, Luann, says Eddie. Hi, Eddie, says Luann. Will someone please tell me what the heck is going on? Or exclaims Lincoln. Whatever. Yeah, everyone looks like a bunch of zombies, says Viri. Haven't you heard? This morning, our house became infested with an acute febrile, okay, contagious virus, or as it's known on the street, suspenseful music plays, the flu. The flu? Uh-oh, I say. Why, it's like not that bad. With 14 Louds, 3 Santiagos, and 1 Jesse packed into 4,500 square feet, when someone gets sick, it spreads like the plague. We're not just talking flu, we're talking a zombie apocalypse, says Lincoln to me. A zombie apocalypse, yells Eddie. The first virus sighting was in Lenny's room, says Lisa. An old time movie reel, complete with countdown, starts with Rita checking Lenny's temperature with a scanner. You have got a fever, young lady. You need to get right back in bed, says Rita. Lenny sneezes, and her mucus, gets all over Lynn's basketball. Lynn picks it up, spins it on her fingers, gets Lenny's germs on her, sneezes, and catches the flu. As she groans, she goes down to the kitchen and drinks orange juice straight from the carton. Lola goes and gets a drink of orange juice and pours a glass and drinks it with germs in it, and she gets sick and groans. Excuse me. I might be sick. End flashback. Oh man, this is bad. I've never been sick a day in my life, I say. I doubt that. Me neither, says Viri. Same here, says Eddie. Okay. The only survivors are you three. Me, Lori, Lainey, Luann, Ronnie Ann, Luna, Lily, Jessie, and Lucy, says Lisa. The group is shown together. Wait, Lucy's infected, says Lincoln, panicking. Incorrect. I always look like this, says Lucy. But what about Lainey? Usually she's the first one with the flu. Oh, well, duh. As an avid The Loud House fan, Lainey is the titular flu patient zero. Don't worry about me. I've never been better, says Lainey, stretches. I'll stretch. I'm a little sore. If we want to live to see another day, I suggest we initiate escape protocol ASAP, says Lisa. If I'm on it, says Lincoln, getting his radio and calling Clyde. Healthy Loud to Safe Haven. We've got a level 4 outbreak. Clyde spits out his cereal. The flu? Lincoln, give it to me straight. Did Lori make it? Asks Clyde. I'm okay, Clyde, says Lori. Oh, God. System overload. I snap my finger. You're so cool. You're so cool, says JD. Anyways, system overload, says Clyde, acting like a robot. I snap my fingers. Thanks, JD. Sorry. I'll have everything ready. Cot, medical supplies, and my patented heal meals. How many survivors? 11. Luann sneezes. Make that 10, corrects Lincoln. Guys, no. It's not what you think. Ha 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 ha. And then turns sick and groans. Just like that? Just like that? Instant sickness? Whatever. Oh, fucking Vestiga Piona Surisa. I chant an in. I chant. Chant. I chant. Rainbow light cures Luann in an instant. Thanks, JD, says Luann. Why don't you do that for everyone else, JD? No problem, Luann, I say. I wish I can learn magic like that, says Lily. You've got water powers. In fact, if Viri has healing water, chances are you do too. Whatever, guys. Don't you? Okay, but no, seriously, why doesn't he just do that for all the other sick people? God, I'm gonna do something drastic. I'm feeling better. I wish I could do that. Wait. Guys, don't you think we should take care of the sick? After all, they're still our family, says Viri. No, they're not. They're not your family. They're not our family. They're the Lincolns' family. Viri. I wish we could, Viri, but there's nothing we can do. There, there clearly is, says Lainey. You just saw something that JD could do. Hell, all you have to do, right, is explain it away with one line. It only works on people who are like newly infected. Or I can only do it once a day. Or something, you know? That's all you need to do, and then boom, it's no longer a plot hole. It's just, I mean, I guess it's not the. It's just, that's all you have to do. The most basic, bare bones literary skills are needed to make this be completely and utterly idiotic to at least slightly believable. As believable as a story like this can be with all the superpowers and how everybody loves JD. Okay, whatever. She's right, dude. It's too late for them, but not for us, says Luna. Yeah, we need to get out of here fast, says Jessie. I'm right behind you, says Ronnie Ann. Everyone out of the house, let's move, says Lincoln. Wait, we can't just go out there with our proverbial keisters hanging, says Lisa, pressing a button that opens up her and Lily's closet equipped with water guns. Grab Lisa grabs one and fills it with some kind of substance. In case we're attacked, this concoction will slow down the infected. Okay, says Lisa, blasting Lincoln. Tastes like chicken soup, says Lincoln, tasting the concoction. That's because it is chicken soup, says Lisa, handing a gun to him. I start loading a pistol with Okay, with tranquilizer darts. What's in those darts, JD? Asks Lisa. I mean Jessie. My bad. Codeine? It's a narcotic. It will make them tired, but this is only a small dose, so it should be okay. Here, I say, giving Jessie a gun. We only have 10 shots each. 10 shots each? So 20 shots? How many people are sick? 3, 4? You'll be fine, bro. Then again, I don't think it's very ethical to tranquilize a sick person just because, oh God, don't get too close to me. I get it, it's cartoon logic, they're acting like zombies, but still. Fucking, it does seem just like, I know tranquilizer darts aren't exactly lethal, but it does seem a little bit, I don't know, brutal. Well, considering what Lisa has, fucking chicken noodle soup water gun, tranquilizer darts with codeine is just okay. Eddie was filling balloons with something. What what you filling those water balloons with, Eddie? Asks Luann. Orange juice with extra pulp. It will slow them down a little. Ew. Well, I say ew because I don't like pulp. I also don't like orange juice, so. Orange, you glad you thought of that? Ha 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 ha. Rim shot. Get it? Says Luann. Ha 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 ha. I get it, says Eddie. I'd like to see like an actual joke like that make me laugh. Yeah, that's when I'll stop reading. When one of Luann's jokes makes me laugh. Lucy, Lana, Luann, Laney, Lonnie Ann, Lori, Lisa, Lily, and Luna each grab one of the remaining guns. Lisa gets more soup and puts on a headband. The remaining 10 are ready to take the fight. I'm ready, guys, says Vuri. Lock and load, people, says Lisa. Her siblings follow suit. Me and Jesse cock our guns. Cock a tranquilizer gun? I guess I don't know how they work, but whatever. Let's go kick some zombie butt, says Lana. This is more Ed's department, but I love the excitement, says Eddie. Lincoln looks around and gives the clear signal, and we move into the hall. Look sharp, they can be anywhere, says Lincoln. I'm always on alert. We know, I say. We move onward, and Luna signals them to stop. Luann's unicycle comes rolling out of her room and onto the floor. Just then, Lincoln spots something. Did I say Luna's unicycle? I meant Luann's, my bad. Luna, 3 o'clock, says Lincoln. The infected Lenny is coming toward them, and Luna shoots some chicken soup into her mouth, causing Lenny to fall over. Lisa, 6 o'clock, says Lincoln. The contaminated Lola was approaching in her car. Eat hot soup, says Lisa. That's so cool. That's so cool. Lisa shoots it in Lola's mouth. That's weird, causing her to crash while distracted by this taste. Lori, 9 o'clock, says Lincoln, noticing another one. Lori sees Lynn coming and she fires soup into her mouth. Good shot, Lori, I say, guys, trouble, says Nanny. She points to Luna being surrounded by sick Lynn and Lola. Dudes, help, says Luna, panicking. God, all the other names, right? I typically get them fine, but Luna and Luann, they give me the most trouble. Dudes, help, says Luna, panicking. Me and Jesse fired darts and they hit them in the arm and they were knocked out. Thanks, JD and Jesse, says Luna. No problem, I say. You're welcome, says Jesse. Evacuate, commands Lincoln. We head for the stairs and. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We head for the stairs and go down them. We're almost there, guys, I say. Yeah, says Laney. We're tasting freedom in 3, 2. Lincoln gets cut off. As he opens the door, we discover that Charles, Cliff, Walt, and Gio are contaminated as well. I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, it's the flu. I know some diseases that affect humans don't affect animals, and vice versa. But I guess at the same time, like a sick person can hug their dog or something and get a bunch of germs on their coat, which would imply that they are contaminated. So, nothing to be mad about. We'll find something else. Guaranteed. Ah, the virus has jumped species. Okay. Instantly proven wrong. So they are sick, of course. I guess, okay, this is my defensive arc. I'm going to defend JD and his writing. I guess it's not impossible for something to mutate and be able to affect. Then again, I think that would be quite the fucking mutation. Whatever. The virus has jumped species, says Lincoln. Or eat orange juice, flea bags, says Eddie. I'm not sure if orange juice is good for all pets, but whatever. Uh, Fires an orange juice bomb from his slingshot, and it splatters orange juice all over the pets, and they fall asleep. They just fall asleep. Okay. Marie, Eddie, Jesse, Ronnie, and Lincoln and his sisters run to the sidewalk. Oh, me. Sorry, I thought I was saying that. I thought JD was saying that. Me, Free, Eddie, Jesse, Ronnie, Ann, Lincoln, and his sisters run to the sidewalk. I'll quarantine the house. Of course you will. Clearly, James Knudsen recently watched The Exorcist and just became obsessed with Latin, to my chagrin. Fenorica Vecuxa Gemsino. You know what? Hold on. Okay, well, Google Translate was no help. This might not even be Latin. It might just be some gibberish, wizard talk. I don't know. I couldn't find anything. I just wanted to know if he like absolutely butchered something. But whatever. Fenorica Vecuxa Gemsino. I chant. A giant dome enclosed the loud house, and it was kept under tight quarantine. That should hold. Now let's get to Clyde's house, where we can wait until the virus has run its course. This seems a little unethical. Aren't like the parents in there? Sure, they were close to Lenny. At least the mom was close to Lenny when she was sick, but didn't imply that they was sick. Whatever. Until the virus has run its course, I say. Yeah, good thinking, says Lenny. Scene changes to Clyde's house. It's good you all got out of there. I thought I lost you all, says Clyde to JD. To me, I guess. What started as a visit turned into a rescue mission from the flu, I say. Yeah, but we should have stayed and watched over them, says Free. Shut up! Don't disagree with your husband to be. I know it was the right thing to do, but nobody likes getting sick. I guess that's justification. Especially with the flu, I say. I don't think the Loud House can get flu shot. Why not? I don't think the Loud House can get flu shots, says Eddie. You're right, Eddie. Dad is too scared of needles and he doesn't want us all to get them. Canonically, the Loud family is anti vax. Let's go. That's like, wait, but that's like super dangerous for the young ones. Especially Lily, when she wasn't magically turned 10 years old. Whatever. Okay. Boy, he's got a nasty case of baloniphobia. Sounds like baloney to me. Baloney phobia. You know what? That's how I'm going to say it. Baloney phobia. AKA the fear of needles. What about Miss Rita? Is she scared of needles? I ask. No, Mom is not, says Lori. Answers Lori. Boom. Those two are the exact opposites of each other when it comes to horror movies and needles, says Marie. Yeah, being sick is not fun. How long will it take for the flu to go away? Asks Lana. Influenza, straight named the flu, usually goes away after about 2 to 3 days, says Lisa. I'm glad we got out of the house, says Ronnie Ann. We're past that, Ronnie. Me too, says Jessie. I'm glad we're safe, says Luann. 3 days later, at 8 in the morning. So, okay. Let me just. Let me bite into this some more. They went over on a Saturday, right? They went over on a Saturday. Then they left and stayed at Clyde's for 3 days. So, as stupid as it is to be that afraid of the flu and to stay at someone else's house for 3 days until it's gone, um, they stayed for 3 days, right? So the first day, then it's Sunday. The second day, then it's Monday. The third day, then it's Saturday. I mean, what am I saying? Monday, then it's Tuesday. So even if they still went to school um from Clyde's house, they still kept, how many was it? Four? Maybe five, I don't know. I'll just say four. They still kept four of their, well, not their, four of the Loud siblings from going to school. In fact, they just straight up kept them trapped in a friggin' gas chamber of influenza for 3 days straight. Which, frankly, I'm not sure. Maybe that just make it worse. I mean, hell, I'd be surprised if the parents didn't get sick. Okay, I'm getting off track. Fact is, this is stupid and I hate this. Okay, 3 days later at 8 o'clock in the morning, we were all sleeping in the living room. The telephone rang. I'll get it. What? You're kidding me! You're kidding me! You're not even in the Loud house anymore. You're in Clyde's house. And you still take the God, like, what if that was like a private phone call for the like one of Clyde's parents, and it's like, oh yeah, you've got a tumor. I guess they wouldn't just say that outright, but still, it seems a little privacy violating to answer other people's phone in their own house, you know? Okay, I answer the phone. Hello? I ask JD. It's Lynn Sr., says Lynn Sr. Hello, Mr. Lynn. Is everything feeling better? Is everyone feeling better? I ask. Yes, we're all okay now. You can all come back now, says Lynn Sr. Oh, good. But we'll stay protected just in Okay. But we'll stay protected just in case. See ya, I say. Scene changes to the Loud House. Me, Marie, Eddie, Jesse, Ronnie, Ann, Lincoln, Lori, Luna, Loanne, Lucy, Laney, Lana, Lisa, and Lily are standing outside the dome, and I make it vanish. It looks safe, I say. We sneak up to the house and open the door, and we see Lynn Sr., Rita, Lenny, Lynn, and Lola, all better. You guys are all better, thank goodness, I say. Yes, we are, says Lynn Sr. But how do we know this isn't a biological trap? Stupid, I ask suspiciously. There is no trap here, JD. We're fine, says Rita. I don't sense any lies. Okay. Oh, another small, less noticeable power. Lie sense. Truth beam. Fucking stupid. We put our weapons away and head into the kitchen for some breakfast. The end. Another fanfiction complete. I hope this one turned out good. It might not have gone the way you might have hoped, but that's all right. See you next time. Well, I'm glad he decided that it's all right for us. It's okay. Didn't go how you wanted, but that's okay. Chapter 34 Adventures of the Past. Adventures of the Past. It starts at the Loud House. Me, Marie, Jesse, Woody, Lincoln, his sisters, Ronnie, Ann, Sarah, and the Eds were in the living room eating hamburgers, hot dogs, and french fries. Cool. So, what kind of adventures did you guys have in Peach Creek, Eddie? Link asks Lincoln. We had lots of crazy adventures, Lincoln. We call them adventures. Ha 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 ha, says Eddie. We all laugh. Ha 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 ha. Remember when you guys made Johnny into a pest? Who's Sarah? Who's Sarah? Is it an Eddie? Uh, is that like Eddie's sister or something? I'm pretty sure at least one of them had a sister. Whatever. Remember when you guys made Johnny into a pest? Asks Sarah. Oh yeah, that was funny, responds Eddie. How did you guys turn him into a pest? Without dark magic like me. I ask. I put a purple suit on him and Double D brushed his teeth with anchovy paste. Says Eddie. What? Anchovy paste? Exclaims Laney. Ew, say all the loud kids. Cool, says Lana. It smelled really bad, says Double D. I glued a block of wood to his foot, says Ed, which I thought was disturbing, says Double D. I glued a block of wood to his foot. Fucking awesome. I told him that people like it when you say why all the time, and Ed told him that people like it when you poke them on the head. Johnny would yell yeehaw and blow fish breath out. The most terrible part was when Johnny cracked his knuckles, says Eddie. Like this? I ask. Loud crunch. Hold on. Can I? Damn. I don't have. Damn. Usually my knuckles are always cracking. Oh well. Ruined. Ruined. I guess I have to stop the series now. I cracked my knuckles really loud and Ed covered his ears. Yep, that's it, says Ed. Wow. What is JD not good at, I wonder? Boy, was that stupid, says Sarah. It didn't work out in the end, didn't it? Says Vuri. It didn't work out in the end, didn't it? Says Vuri. Yep. No, it did not, says Double D. Rolf had some unusual stuff from his culture tied in to Johnny being annoying, says Eddie. Unusual. What else did you guys do? Asks Lincoln. Kevin dared us to go into an abandoned house on our block for a jawbreaker, says Eddie. It was all a trap set up by the Cankers for a forced wedding, says Double D. Boy, that is crazy, says Lola. I agree with you on that, Lola. And that was before the Vengeance Express was after them, says Sarah. What kind of scam did you guys do before you went into that house? Asks Jesse. We tried to sell tacos made with paper plates, grass, and crayon for cheese. Plus, I added my brother's special Armenian secret hot sauce, says Eddie, pulling out a jug full of his brother's hot sauce. Here's the stuff. Oh, that looks tasty. Can I try some? I ask. Sure, why not, says Eddie. I take the top bun off my burger and put some on it, and I take a bite, and I start boiling red, and streams shoots out of my ears like a steam whistle. Toot! Delicious. Your brother makes really good hot sauce, Eddie. Isn't this the guy who, like, basically abused him? Let's not separate the art from the artist, I always say. God, it's just the little things that really peeve me. Like, oh wow, of course, JD can crack his knuckles really loud because he's perfect. Oh, and of course, um, JD is into hot sauce because that's cool. Frankly, I'm surprised he even wrote in something like this, where it's implied that he couldn't really handle it that well. Of course, then he says, delicious afterwards. Anyways, may I try some too? Asks Lynn. Sure, Lynn, says Eddie. Eddie puts some on Lynn's sub sandwich, and she takes a bite, and her face turns red and fire blasts out of her mouth, and she screams and runs outside and turns on the hose and drinks a lot of water. You see, there. You see how different their reactions were? That's just like more subtle. Oh, wow, I'm so cool. I, compared to her, I barely showed a reaction, you know? We all laughed. Poor Lynn was no match for the level of spice from your brother, Eddie. Use Scoville level. Scoville level is just cooler sounding. I think I'm saying that right. May I try? Oops. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, says Eddie. This one, this was one story that spiced things up, says the Wan. Rim shot. Get it? Excuse me. Meavery, Jesse, Woody, and Eddie laughed. Ah ha ha ha. Good one, Luann, says Eddie. What else did you do? Asks Vuri. Is this just gonna be like a full non-stop talking about like episodes from Ed, and Eddie? Because I don't want to read that. But I have to. Okay. Well, there was this time when we were in the junkyard and we found a box of turkey basters, says Ed. Oh yeah, we called them Canadian squirt guns, says Double D. We had lots of fun with those. Eddie was like a male version of Annie Oakley, says Sarah. Thanks, Sarah, but those stupid cankers ruined it later on, says Eddie. Boy, those dumb cankers loved ruining things, says Lily, who was not there, but I'm glad she can be just as spiteful. You said it, Lily, says Ed. Oh, here we go. First time in a long time that Woody here has said something. What was the worst thing that happened to the entirety of Peach Creek? Asks Woody. That's easy. It was a terrible event called the destruction of Rethink Avenue. The destruction of Rethink Avenue? Asks Lucy. We all called it the Canker Hissy Fit. Ed sleepwalked and accidentally took the Canker's ship in a bottle, and the Cankers went on a rampage and destroyed our entire neighborhood, says Sarah. Oh man, I've heard about that. That was destructive. Is this what happened? Asks. Oh, okay. Also, why would you know about that? It's like a single neighborhood that got quote unquote completely destroyed by three Canker sisters. I can only assume it's just like at worst vandalism, minor property damage. Doesn't seem like something. Okay, great. No, no, here I'm being proved wrong. Damn. I look up the event on my phone, and it was so you have a phone? Christ, why don't you ever like call people? Just walking into a house full of influenza. It's like truly uninvited. Every time. Okay, where was I? The whole cul-de-sac was completely destroyed, and all the houses were leveled. I find that hard to believe. Cartoon logic, whatever. Yep, that's the very event, says Sarah. Boy, that was terrible. It's a miracle no one was hurt, or worse, I say. Let me see, says Lincoln. I show Lincoln the picture. Whoa, that was horrible, says Lincoln. This is all setting up the canker revenge chapter where they torture, mutilate, gore the canker sisters. I show Lincoln the picture. Whoa, that was terrible. Oh, shoot. That looked like a terrible event, dude, says Luna. Thanks for the input. That sure was awful, says Woody. No kidding. Was there anything that you guys did with Rolf? I ask. Strange question. Let me see that here. Rolf was feeling homesick, and we decided to make him feel like he was back home and also learn about his culture by using the construction site and build a replica of an old world village. But it went south when Johnny showed up, says Double D. We taught He taught us a really cool folk song called That's My Horse, says Ed. Ed loved to dance. Ha 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 ha, says Eddie. We all laugh. That wasn't even funny! Ed loved to dance. Like saying, Bob likes to skate. Like, whoa, hilarious. A person likes to do something. This is stupid. We all laugh. Boy, it sounded like you had a lot of fun with that, says Lana. We sure did, Lana, says Ed. What about Jimmy, my dudes? What about with Jimmy, dudes? Asks Luna. That's one I'll never forget, says Eddie. I had a ballet lesson that day, and I put Ed in charge of looking after Jimmy while I was away, says Sarah. It was not working out until I started teaching him everything I know about scams. He made a good scam. He made a trampoline of old sheets and dolls and charged 25 cents for 25 seconds. But he kept all the money for himself, and Ed blew the whistle she gave Jimmy, and Sarah came and he made up a lie where we made him eat dirt, and Sarah pulverized us. Okay, I don't know why I had trouble reading that towards the end. Says Eddie. Wow, the student surpassed the master. Ha 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 ha. That's funny, JD. I say, indeed, says Double D. Double D. Was there any adventures around you? Asks Lori. Yes, Lori, there was. I was tasked with delivering Ed and Eddie's report cards to their parents, says Double D. I remember that. I can't believe me and Ed went after you to get them back, Double D, says Eddie. No hard feelings, gentlemen, says Double D. I'm having a really bad time reading this right now because this is just nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing. I'd rather like one of them just get powers out of nowhere because at least that's absurd and funny to just make fun of. But this, I'm just reading basically short verbal descriptions of Ed and Eddie episodes, and after every single one character is like, "Wow, that was blank. Whoa, that guy is a blank." It's maddening. It's maddening. No hard feelings, gentlemen, says Double D. What happened? Asks Lenny. Ed and I were very upset with Double D. That Double D was delivering a report card to our parents. I called Double D a low-down, miserable, two-timing, double-crossing slimeball and a backstabbing jerk, says Eddie. And you didn't want your report card to be delivered to your parents? I wonder why, asks Jesse. Yeah, says Eddie. What was on your report cards that you didn't want your parents to find out? Asks Lola. Me and Ed got all F's on the report cards, and it was awful, says Eddie. Me and Eddie got punished real bad, guys. I was afraid I was going to have to live with my aunt. She has a mustache. Her cat makes me sneeze. She never butters my toast. She smells like cabbage and makes me use toothpicks? For what? What does she make you use toothpicks for? Uh, says Ed. Your aunt sounds like a more stricter version of our Aunt Ruth. Ed, says Lincoln. She is, Lincoln. How the fuck would you know that, Ed? Have you ever been have you ever seen this Aunt Ruth? I personally can't remember like a single chapter where you two interacted. Whatever. Are you just assuming? Whatever. I was sent to a reform school for 3 weeks. Look at that. It's also quite boring. So to make sure we didn't want that to happen, I tried to change my grades with a hand-me-down from my brother, but Double D stopped me, says Eddie. I know, guy. I know, guys, but I was trying to do the right thing, says Double D. We know, Double D, says Ed, being strangely forgiving. Actually, no, if Eddie was the one forgiving him, that would be strange. A little bit of water keeps me alive. What was the most strangest thing that happened to you, Ed? Asks Lisa, just random out of nowhere question. Hmm. Well, there was that time when I was sleepwalking and eating everyone's food, says Ed. Oh, I remember that. You were eating my food and I thought you were an intruder. I woke up Eddie and we followed you and you did all kinds of talented stuff, says Double D. Yeah, Ed, you scarfed a whole fridge and ate Jimmy. Oh, but you spit him back out. You bilked the whole neighborhood of its food, says Eddie. Oh yeah, that was so crazy of me, says Ed. We all laugh. Boy, it sounds like you guys have had oh my god, I'm losing it. Sounds like you guys have had a lot of crazy adventures, I say. We sure did, JD, says Eddie. What about your most painful adventures? Asks Lynn. Oh, that was when we turned Jimmy into a sumo wrestler, says Eddie. Sumo wrestlers are cool. What happened? Asks Lynn. Well, Jimmy made a wish in our wishing well scam. He said he wanted to be a star, so we helped him out, says Eddie. It was because of me, actually. I watched some sumo wrestlers on TV, and Eddie got the idea, says Ed. Well, no, it wasn't then. How can it be because of you if Eddie got the idea? Just because you so happen to be watching sumo wrestlers, that's like that's like 5% your fault, maybe less. Maybe less. Whatever. Yep, we fed Jimmy until he got big. I made him eat an entire fridge full of his private stash of peaches and cream. But we had another problem. Sumo wrestlers are respected all the way in Japan. So we tried to go all the way to Japan by catapulting ourselves with a street light. But Jimmy was too big and heavy, and he crushed me and Ed. I was in a full body cast, and Ed only had a few and Ed only had a few casts, says Eddie. I got Jimmy exercising after that. He was dripping sweat like no tomorrow, says Sarah. Great. That was cool, I say. Was it? That was the grossest adventure. What was the grossest adventure you had? Asks Lana. That's easy, Lana. It was when we were catching frogs for our frog jumping derby, says Double D. Oh, yeah, we couldn't do that because Ed had a wedge of rotten cheese named Sheldon in his jacket pocket. Oh, yeah, we couldn't do that because you couldn't catch frogs or you couldn't do the frog jumping derby. And what does the rotten cheese do frogs not like rotten cheese? I guess. I personally wouldn't like the smell, but whatever. Rotten cheese, that would smell like puke. I say. We all revel in disgust, minus Lana. Cool, says Lana. We tried to get rid of it by having Ed take off his jacket and have Double D put it in a jar. Yeah, says Eddie. Yeah, I also had a fish carcass named Angus that I wore around my neck like a pendant. That is like psychopathic behavior, says Ed. Everyone but Lana. You. Cool, says Lana. What was the funniest adventure, Eddie? Asks Luann. Oh man, that's a tough one. But I would say my funniest adventure would be the Prank Master Horrors. Prank Master Horrors, says Eddie. Oh yeah, I remember that, says Sarah. I made a bet that before sunset I could prank the cul-de-sac. Like everyone. Our first pigeon was Rolf, and he got trapped in a wooden barrel with a weather vane on him. It had a card It had a card on his head. It was a Joker card with the Joker crossed out and replaced with the words Prankmaster on it. Everyone claimed that the Prankmaster was terrorizing the neighborhood. The descriptions are a little confusing sometimes. The next victim was Johnny, and we saw him in a diaper hanging from a tree, and we laughed at him for that, says Ed. We then saw Sarah fall through a trapdoor, says Double D. Kevin got hit with a big fly swatter, says Eddie. Jimmy got scared by a huge clown balloon, says Ed. Ooh, I wouldn't like the sound of that. Sorry, I'm scared of clowns, says Laney. Thanks for interrupting, you bitch. I I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, Laney. You're the best. You're the favorite. Everyone loves you. I'm sorry, Laney. Johnny then got and then he apologized for it. He apologized for mentioning a huge clown balloon. What if you like go up to somebody who's afraid of spiders and say, "Spiders, spiders"? I like sincerely doubt that they'd be like, "Ah, ooh." And even then, you don't have to. Okay. I'm sorry, Laney. Johnny then got catapulted by a giant spring, says Double D. And lastly, Kevin got his butt caught in a giant bear trap. That sounds brutal. We thought of me, Double D, and Ed. We thought of me, Double D, and Ed would be next, so we armed ourselves for defense, says Eddie. I found a jawbreaker on the sidewalk, says Ed. Oh, but I thought it was a trap, says Eddie. Me and Jimmy found it, and it wasn't a trap, says Sarah. Okay, we're getting close to being done. So me, Double D, and Eddie wedged together, and everyone laughed at us. Turns out there was no Preg Master, says Ed. That got me mad, and I decided even to get even by making the El Mongo stink bomb. My brother showed me how to make it. We set it to explode in the street, but it got stuck in my garage and exploded in there, says Eddie. It had some of my stinky socks on it, says Ed. Thanks for the input. That would smell like 1,000 rotten corpses enhanced 1,000-fold. No offense, Lucy. What do you mean, no offense? Were you saying that Lucy smells like a rotten corpse or something? What? No offense, Lucy. Or is it like offensive to imply that a rotten corpse smells bad because, oh yeah, of course Lucy would like rotten corpses? Well, guess what, Lucy? They smell bad. Most do. I would assume. I'll be honest, I'm not around them that often, but point point is, whatever. None taken, says Lucy. It did, says Double D. We laugh some more. That's what I call a stinky defeat. It's like every other line I have to stop because that's not a joke. That's not a joke. It's not like a stinky defeat or a similar sounding term exists. Okay? For it to be a pun, it has to like whatever. Whatever. I'm so done with this chapter, man. The first two were shorter than this one, and it's given me, the luxury of short chapters is just it's lost on me right now. But seriously, like, oh yeah, they got defeated and it was stinky. How do I make a pun out of that? A stinky defeat. That's not funny. That's not a joke. Rimshot laughs. Get it? Asks Luann. We all laugh. We all laugh. Ha ha ha. I get it, says Eddie. What was the adventure where you got hurt the most, Eddie? Asks Lynn. Didn't you already answer that? We already answered that, right? He got a full body cast from the sumo wrestling scheme. That's easy, Lynn. It was when I challenged Wolf for the hardest badge he had in the Urban Rangers, says Eddie. The hairy chest of resilience badge. Johnny said that no one had earned that badge in 50 years, says Double D. Boy, that sounded like a really tough badge to earn, I say. It's just like, why do you have to say that? You don't need to say that. No one cares what you have to offer, JD. Well, I guess in this story, everyone is waiting with bated breath for your next cool action or witty bit of humor. But just like James Knutson directly needs to realize that we don't need to know that JD, his self-insert, thinks that that sounded like a really tough badge to earn. Because guess what? No one, because it's nothing. It's nothing. It's bloating the chapter. It's making it longer, and it's making my job harder. Okay. Anyways, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. What did you have to do to get it? Asks Marie. I had to endure a series of tests, says Eddie. The first test was the wax of whaling. We put wax on Eddie and Wolf's legs and pull the wax off with a leather strip on Jimmy's signal, says Ed. That must have really hurt, says Lincoln. Well, only if you've got hairy legs. I mean, well, still probably would hurt, but definitely more so if you've got hairy legs. That's like pulling superglue duct tape off your leg and tearing your skin off? Ew, what the fuck? Where did that come from? That's like pulling superglue duct tape off of your leg and tearing your skin off. Just weird. Ouch, says Lana. Yeah, the second test was the bumping of the funny bone. Eddie and Wolf. Okay, that is genuinely like torture, though. Hitting your funny bone. Who's the genius who named it the funny bone? Whatever. Eddie and Wolf had to slam their arms into an open file cabinet drawer, says Double D. That must have hurt, says Lynn. If we're going to say that must have hurt after every little bit, like we get it, we know. That's the point. That's why he's telling the story. He isn't saying these things and implying in any way that they don't hurt or implying in any way that the story is about something other than the pain. He's telling the story about the pain. Of course he's going to mention things that hurt. You don't need to point that out. We know. Okay. God, I hope that's not ruining the audio. It tickled a little. The third test was called the bramble bush of bellyache. I'm sorry, I'm getting really mad at this chapter in particular. Me and Rolf had to run through a bramble bush naked, says Eddie. Yikes, that must there it is again. That must have hurt, but that is gross, says Lola. It did, and I agree with you, Lola. I came out with a lot of bleeding cuts, says Eddie. Okay, the fourth test was the pendulum of protest. Eddie and Rolf were in between three boulders tied to the swing set in a Newton's cradle, and Eddie and Rolf had to last as long as they can while the boulders swing back and forth with kinetic motion, says Double D. He's the smart one. Fascinating. A giant Newton's cradle endurance test, says Lisa. The smart one. The final test was the toughest one. It was called the Tour of Tears. The Trail of Tears. Or is it? Yeah. I don't know, just stupid little thought of mine. Eddie and Wolf dove off a cliff into a water tower. Into a water? Right, no, like an open top water tower, I assume. Into the path of an oncoming train, down a railroad track, into a sofa slingshot, and they get launched and crash land in the circle of supremacy. He had a lot of broken bones because of it, says Ed. Oh, that must have really been painful. There it is again. There it is again. I say, yes, but the good news is that Eddie won. Says Double D. Eddie won? I exclaim. We all cheer for him. We all cheer for him. How, Eddie? Asks Lincoln. It turns out I passed out on 1 second after Rolf, says Eddie. You gave Rolf a painful defeat. You did it again! She did it again! He did it again, because James Knutson, I assume, is the one writing these. He did it again. He did it again. Oh, Wolf got defeated, and the story was about pain. How do I make a pun out of that? Painful defeat. It's not fucking funny. You gave Rolf a painful defeat. Rimshaw laughs. Get it? Asks Luann. We all laugh. Laughs. I get it, Luann, says Eddie. I will say that, Eddie, you may have a love for jawbreakers, but you have a body that's as tough as a block of reinforced steel, says me. Says I. Says I say. I agree, Jesse, says Jesse. Just fucking I'm losing it. Okay. Okay. I agree, says Jesse. I saw the whole thing and it was extremely rough, says Sarah. You guys have been through a lot, says Woody. Yeah, but we all had fun, says Ed. What happened to Rolf and the Urban Rangers after you won that badge, Eddie? I ask. Rolf, what the fuck? Oh, oh no. Wolf was so disgraced that he locked himself in his house and never came out. That is until our biggest scam went wrong and the Vengeance Express came after us and the cankers torturing us. Well, at least everyone. Oh, wait. And the cankers torturing us, says Eddie. Well, at least everyone forgave you and became your friends afterwards, says Lily. What a beautiful happy ending. Yeah, that's true, says Eddie. We continued to talk about all sorts of fun adventures and more throughout the rest of the day. The end. Another fanfiction complete. Okay. The episodes I had them talk about are as follows. O1, shoe Ed. O2, honor thy Ed. O3, know it all Ed. O4, run for your Ed. O5, wish you were Ed. O6, Ed in a half shell. O7, mission Ed possible. O8, a glass of warm Ed. O9, one size fits Ed. 10, think thick as an Ed. 11, fool on the Ed. 12, the good, the bad, and the Ed. That number 12 should be the Ed, and the Eddie. The episode that made me laugh the hardest was Shoe Ed. That one was extremely funny. I wanted to do a special reminiscing episode of Ed, and Eddie's adventures in Peach Creek. I did a twist on the good, the bad, and the Ed by having Eddie win the badge, where in the show he lost. It's a shame that they can't make any more episodes of Ed, and Eddie, but it will always make us laugh in our hearts and in our memories. See you next time. Ed, and Eddie is owned by Danny. Okay, so why suddenly now are you referencing Ed, and Eddie? After all, you've been using Ed, and Eddie in multiple chapters, and I don't think I've seen. God, I'm yawning like crazy. Why? And I don't think I've seen this whole little credit before, but whatever. Ed, and Eddie is owned by Danny and Antonucci and Cartoon Network. By the way, bad move making Eddie win the badge, right? I liked Rolf. I didn't watch a lot of Ed and Eddie, but I liked Rolf. More so than Eddie. I think just JD has like this belief in his head that if you're a main character, you're good. Maybe not perfect, but that's something he can do. He can make you perfect. Just get added to The Loud Revamped, and boom, suddenly you're doing all the right things. Considering all the like genuine bad things that Eddie has done, he did not deserve to win that badge, as far as I can remember. Okay, this one was great. I had fun reading it. Really good. Can't wait for more. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.